Okay, as you can see, I've got the first 5 pictures done. Let me show you how I did this. I'm taking each one, saving it, and then resizing it in Photoshop. Let me go over here to our quiz app. I'm going to go to number 6, link to picture, and open it up. When I save image as, I'm going to put 06 in front of it so that they stay nice and neat in order, but keep the rest of the name the same. We're going to be editing that so that name won't go into MIT App Inventor. Go to the next one here, number 7, upload, right click, save image as, and again, home key helps me get right to the beginning very, very quickly. I'm going to go right here to the next one. This one's a little different. It's a PNG with transparency, but we should be able to save it as a PNG without any trouble. And I'm putting the number 08 in front of it. Go to the next one, right here. Right click, save image as, and this is 08. Next one, that was 08. This one should be 09. Let me show this in folder, rename, and 09. Try and keep everything straight. It's easy to get mixed up. For example, right here, this picture, we've already used it. So this, the question says McLaren P1. When I look over here, this was used for the Bugatti question. So which one is it? If I look at the web page, it does take me to the McLaren P1, but this image I've already used. So it would really need to be one of the other McLaren P1 pictures out there. So we'll leave off number 10. This needs to be fixed up. Let me go ahead and do the editing portion here for number 6. If I right click and open with, I can open it in Photoshop. Looks good. All I'm really going to do is change the image size to 400. It's not more than 800, so we are good to go. It doesn't look like it needs any leveling, although image adjustments levels, it doesn't hurt to kind of see if making the blacks a little blacker and the whites a little whiter, we start to lose a lot of detail there. So just a little bit of tweaking. File, save as, changing it to just 06. And this is the version to go in the website or in the app, so we're going to get it down to where it's under 100 kilobytes. Go get the next one. You can see they're right next to each other. I'm going to right click and open with Adobe Photoshop. So we're going to open up number 7. You can see that the image adjustments levels, we can probably make the whites a little wider. No, it looks like we lose a little bit of detail. The black's a little blacker. And let's do an image size. So that can be done before or after. I change the height here to 400 pixels, our target. We're ready to save. File, save as. And we're going to just save it as 07. And it looks like we can go up a little bit on the quality until the size gets close to 100, up to 9. So a high quality image without being super large. Let's go do the next one. This is the logo. It already says Photoshop. If I try to open it up, it doesn't like it, but it should have been. So sometimes you run into problems like these. It says it's an SVG file. Let me go ahead and delete that and try and get it again. I believe that if we go back to our spreadsheet and link to picture and see it on the screen, we should be able to save image as. And it says save as type PNG. I'm going to delete the SVG part there. And this was number 8. And let's see if that can be opened up with, see, we can see it now. So just taking that word out of there seemed to help. If I right click and now open with Photoshop, I can then do image size 400 pixels high. Now the background is going to be visible around this, so if we had a gold background, this could be a little hard to see. But let's go ahead and save it as. And let's keep it as a PNG. This will be one that you have to remember is different, because when we're typing in 08.jpg for the name of the file, but it's actually .png, it will not work. So that one's going to be a little different than the others. Let's do one more right here, the 09. We're going to open with Photoshop. And I'm going to do a little cropping. There's a lot of stuff at the top and bottom we don't necessarily need. We're going to focus in on the car a little bit. And now I've got a fairly wide picture. I believe that I might crop right to that part right there. So now we need to make sure it's not over 800 pixels wide. But that's only after we change the height to 400. You can see that we've got a width of 877. So we do need to trim a little bit off. We're going to get some help from Photoshop to do that. I wanted to show you the ratio that we can type in here. So if I say, okay, it's already 400, I want exactly 400 by 800. Sometimes it looks like that. Just click on this and it will reverse it. And now you can see when I can move this picture a little bit and select, now it's exactly image size 800 by 400. So let me do File, Save As, change it to 09 for the JPEG. And, ooh, way too big at 9. Looks like 5 or 6 will give us what we need. I'm going to click OK, and now we've got the first 9 images all ready to go into the app. If I look at the details, we can see how much space. We cut it at least in half, sometimes even more than that. Here's a 494 that went down to 83. But if I click on these two, they look essentially the same except for the leveling that I did on that one. So we're keeping the quality and reducing the file size. So that's what you need to do with all 10 of your images. And please make sure every link is correct so that your app is not pointing people to the wrong thing.